the Bruins 5, the Flyers 3, and what was, Bry, I guess the best way I could describe this game is that was a spirited hockey game.
That was an entertaining hockey game.
Yeah.
And, again, Flyers are in a spot here coming into this where this is the kind of game that you usually see a team come out flat for, the kind of game where a team will just go through the motions, try to get to the end of it. Philadelphia did not do that at all. They stick with the Bruins stride for stride throughout this game, and I give them a lot of credit. It's really tough to come off a trip like that. They've been on the road for a full week, and then you have to come back in and play the second half of a back-to-back and really do so on a little bit of a short turnaround. But I've got to give them credit for sticking with this Bruins team as closely as they did. They do actually end up out shooting them 37-34. But it'd been nice that they had scratched Bergeron instead of Pasternak. But hey, one way or the
other. You mean Pasternak right? Instead of Bergeron?
That's what I meant. Yeah, the other way around. It's pretty remarkable. You do have to kind of appreciate getting to see a record like this get set, but the Flyers themselves, they're not interested in being part of it at all, obviously. But you got to give them credit for the way they battled tonight. Yeah,
and I mean the hat trick for Pasternak is 4th against the Flyers. He now has 60 goals on the year, only trailing Connor McDavid, who's got 64. Now McDavid's got this is nuts. Who? McDavid's got 151 points, but I could make the case. I think that Pasternak should be the Hart Trophy winner and the MVP. McDavid's got Draisaitl there. We talked about it pregame. Pasternak comes into this game with 57. The second leading scorer's got 27, and Patrice Bergeron. 30-goal difference. 13-goal difference between McDavid and Draisaitl. But I guess 151 points is going to be tough.
I mean, and again, it's not the Ross or it's not the leading scorer. It's the most valuable player. And when I look at the award, what I look at is where would a team be without that player?
Yeah, remove the player.
Remove the player, and what is the difference in the team's season? That's where I look at it, and that's where you've got to sit here and look at for instance, for my standpoint, there is absolutely no sense in a Hart Trophy player being on a non-playoff team.
No.
Because there is no,
they would have made the playoffs without him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you take that player away, then there is no, there's no standard of improvement. But looking at the grand scheme of things and where these teams are in the playoffs, I don't know if it'd be very interesting to see what happens when you remove any of one of those players. If you were just to delete them from the Boston Bruins, how would it affect them? It is to his credit, 104 points is a lot, but if you delete him, again, 7 other guys have 60 points or more. What happens if he's not there? So
yeah,
I guess from a standpoint of that, there's ways to argue it either way. But if the Oilers don't, if they don't come back and get to where they've gotten to in the standings, like they were, back in around Christmas or whatever, when they were on the teetering on the brink of missing the playoffs. It's hard to say one way or the other how you would look at that.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's get to the BetRivers.com highlight reel. The highlights came early in this one. 47 seconds in, Charlie Coyle opened the scoring, his 15th of the season. Right in the high slot, is able to beat Felix Sandstrom, but the Flyers answer on the very next shift. You love to see when you give up a goal, answer it right away, and the Flyers do that. And it's just good, tenacious work by Wade Allison. Go into the net following his own shot when Jeremy Swayman kind of bobbled it. And at 1:04, the Flyers get it tied. It's Wade Allison's 9th of the season. Yeah, Allison just goes in and follows that shot and sees that Swayman's having some issues with it, and then manages to somehow, on a really sharp angle, get that puck in. ties the score at 1. 2:04 into the second. Pastrnak gets his first of the game, 58th of the season. 7:31 of the second. Pastrnak gets his 59th of the season and second of the game, but the Flyers answer to make it 3-2. At 13:58, Joel Farabee is 14th. Yeah, Farabee's 14th. He's been coming on lately, Bri.
Yeah, I mean, again, John Tortorella talked about it yesterday about the Flyers playing in spurts, yesterday. And it's just been that way for a lot of their players too. There's been guys that have been hot and cold this year. And again, a lot of the circumstances dictate how things go around the team. But, at least for Farabee, you're looking at him at least ending the year on an upswing. And again, with the injury and everything like that and not getting to work too much in the offseason, they're hoping an offseason where he doesn't have to worry about any of that, gets him off to a good start next year.
Yeah, and if you can finish the season as strong and really can propel you into that offseason. And Farabee picks up his 14th of the year there, 13:58, 3-2 after 2 periods of play. But again, here, another goal early. They score 47 seconds into the first. They score 2:04 into the second. And then they score 39 seconds into the third. And guess who it is? It's David Pastrnak. He picks up his 60th. And that puts the Bruins up 4-2. But the Flyers do answer at 9:06. Great play by Farabee here. We're just talking about him. His ears must have been ringing because he made a deft pass to Owen Tippett, who picks up his 24th. Yeah, Flyers battle back again to get within 1. And on that play, Brian, what you talked about at the second intermission, that, the Bruins players, Pastrnak in particular, seems to get that puck off a half a second quicker. I don't know that you could have got it off his stick any quicker than that for
Nope.
Tippett.
Nope. That was that was exactly the kind of thing the Flyers need to start doing. And that play there, it starts out as really your basic 3-on-2, and really you could call it 2.5 because there was a third Bruin trying to get back in, but all three of them get pulled to the left side. And Owen Tippett just hangs out in the open ice on the right. He says, "Oh, hey, yeah, you guys are going to go over there. I'm going to stay here." And good on Farabee to find him over there and get the pass through. And all Tippett had to do was cash that in. Not to change the subject, but I felt like James Van Riemsdyk had 3 or 4 chances like that. I think we might need to get Joe Boo out here on his sticks or something like that. Sacrifice a live chicken, all those things. I can't believe how snake bitten he is right now.
Yeah.
And you just want to see, you'd love to see him get that 300th before the year's over, but good on Tippett to be able to convert in that situation.
Yeah, and JVR was in tight on one and not even really getting a shot off. So, and that's where he's great in tight. The Bruins wrap up the scoring when Pavel Zacha picks up his goal, 21st of the season at 16:56 to make it a 5-3, and that's how the game would end, with the Flyers falling to the Bruins 5-3. 7 games in 11 days. It's been a lot. And, you're in this game too, Bri. One of the other storylines was the 13-5, and Ivan Provorov. Say what you want about Ivan Provorov. It looked to me like he separated his shoulder or something because he was in a lot of pain on the ice in that third period. And he went down the tunnel. I said, he's not coming back. We'll see if he's in the next game. He probably will be because he plays through everything. He comes back the next shift. And then on the next shift, he takes a stick in the chops or something right up high from Marchand, and he stays out there on the ice. I mean, the competitor and the will to win and play through anything was really evident in him tonight.
Yep, absolutely. When we got a chance to look at the replay again, and it just looked like he was up against the end boards, and then a Bruin came in, and it was half check, half just collision, but it kind of looked like he got his arm slammed between the Bruin and the glass. And I actually was thinking elbow. I was wondering about that, but
stinger through the elbow.
Yeah,
maybe?
but just like he always does, he went back down the tunnel. He plugged himself in. He regenerated, and he came back out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable sometimes with him. And let's not forget Brendan Lemieux later on.
Lost a chiclet tonight.
Should have been a 4-minute penalty. Yep. Tooth goes flying. I don't understand. I get that. I could go off on one of Coates's rants here. I get that you don't want to review everything, but I don't understand how after a play like that, you look at the results and you don't conclude that there was a high sticking penalty and you make a way to review it. I just don't know. But
he did push it out with his tongue.
What's that?
He didn't push the tooth out with his tongue.
Yeah, I mean, it went flying.
Yeah.
If you have the means to watch the replay on TNT, you can see it. It goes up in the air, and then you can see it against the backdrop of Kiefer Bellows, and then they were spending some time looking for it after it happened. So
finding a tooth on the ice is not easy, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
You just hope you didn't get them whitened anytime soon. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if is there any use for it after it gets knocked out. I've never had the good fortune of getting a tooth knocked out like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's gonna put it under his pillow.
Stand in, right?
Hold up this game. We got to find Brendan's tooth. All right, let's take a timeout here on the post-game show. Flyers fall to the Bruins. We're back after this on the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network.
Hi. Grab whatever you need to.
What's that?
I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear myself, so.
And we're back live as the Flyers fall against the Boston Bruins by a final score of 5-3. And then there were two. The two games are as follows. The final home game of the season will be Tuesday against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and then the final game of the season will be Thursday against the Chicago Blackhawks. So you go from one of the top, the top team in the NHL right to the bottom of the standings for the next two.
Yeah, it's going to be I don't know. It's going to be an interesting couple of games here because again, there's nothing left really to worry about apart from whether or not where the Flyers draft pick is. I mean, they can't. They're unable to fall any lower than where they are right now. Or I'm sorry, I guess when I'm saying fall lower, I don't mean standings. I mean in draft order. They can't. They can't catch Washington. They could still be caught by Arizona, who plays tonight, and Montreal. But again, that's not really top of mind for the guys that are on the ice.
Well, the Tanks on in Arizona are 1-7-2 in their last 10.
Right. They did manage to beat somebody last night. I think they had to play Anaheim.
That was the one.
Yeah, that was the one, right?
Well, somebody had to lose.
Yeah,
that
somebody
game.
had to lose that game. Let's be honest. Everybody that's on the team right now, they're obviously they're playing for the logo, and they're playing for pride. But everybody's got something to play for in this scenario, and that's whether you are one of the guys that has been talked about as being part of the future here. You're trying to show what you can do and show that you're still engaged in a time like this. for the guys who are on expiring contracts, things like that. They're trying to show that they're good options for, if not here, other teams on the way out of here. They're trying to go out on a good note. So everybody's got some reason to come out and give everything they got, and I think that's you saw that sort of thing tonight, and you'll see it again with Chicago and Columbus. And if Arizona does not win this game tonight that they've got coming up next against Colorado, it won't really matter. I don't think it's after a certain point, because the Flyers will be locked into that that 7th draft spot. So you can you can go ahead and forget about anything other than winning these last two and going out on a good note.
Yeah. You go from a team in the Bruins who now, with this win tonight, have a winning percentage of .819 to facing your next two opponents who right now have a winning percentage of .354. That's incredible, right?
Yeah, that is pushing it off a cliff, is it not?
Holy.
And again, on Tuesday the awards come first, and there's going to be a high off of that, and then Chicago, it's the last game of the year, so we'll see where this goes. But there's still some stuff out there that guys are looking to prove, and got 2 more games to do it.
Yep, no doubt. Let's wrap things up there. Let's thank a few people before we get out of here. We'll have those final 2 games for you, Tuesday against Columbus and Thursday against Chicago. And let's thank Mike Vito back in the station. Great job by him. Who was on highlights tonight, Michael? Ray Dunn was on the highlights. Our on-site engineer was Betsy Deming. So for Tim Saunders, Steve Coates, Brian Smith, I'm Jason Martinez. You've been listening to Philadelphia Flyers Hockey, a 5-3 loss against the Boston Bruins on the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network. Good night, everybody.